One is, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar, but the prosecutor has worked with neighborhoods where there has been incidences in a neighborhood. And what he has done is, with those, when there has been a fight or breaking and enterings or whatever that is, he has someone from the neighborhood that is assigned his contact person. He contacts that person and lets them know when the court dates are. He also asks that the neighborhood put a letter together so that once the charges are filed and once they start through the system, that the neighborhood can tell about what the impact has been. You've articulated very well what you felt like, what your family felt like, so that when it comes sentencing, the judge has that information. You, as a neighborhood, are the victim. It's not just the person that was shot. You, as the neighborhood, are the victim. And the prosecutor has been working with this with a number of neighborhoods that have had, and they've been very successful. It's not only watching here, but sometimes it is sitting in court. I've sat with a number of different neighborhoods in court when those issues have been there, to be able to say that we stand up together and we're not going to tolerate this in our neighborhood. Again, making sure that the sentences are, because this was on a school property, that the sentences are doubled, and we're making sure that those are followed through. Problem solving. Every year, council, during the budget process, has made sure that there's been money in the budget for problem solving. Problem solving is extremely important. It's the proactive part of what you've been talking about. And what that is the officer identifies. We've heard tonight what the issues are. Now what we need to do is work with Captain Szymanski. July 1st, new fiscal year, money is appropriated again, to know that we have to have extra patrols back here, especially after 10 o'clock at night. And if it's 2 or 3 times during the month's process that extra officers come on, they're in their civvies, they're walking around, they're able to have that contact. So that's another proactive, active way that you can make a difference with what you're doing. Another point that you have to look at, and again, I heard the term squeezing the elected officials. That's extremely important. You need to let us know what those issues are and what you're dealing with. You're here 24 hours a day. You see what's happening in your neighborhood and what we need to hear about. If it's additional money for problem solving, if what those issues are, we need to understand what they are. I agree with Councilmember Robinson. You have a plan. It's now to walk out of here and assign. I'll be glad to call the prosecutor tomorrow. My hands up. I will call the prosecutor tomorrow. I'll get with Melissa. Right now, Melissa's going to be the contact person for the prosecutor. So any charges or anything that happens in this neighborhood right now that are being filed with the prosecutor, we'll have them get in touch with them. I also get with the city attorney, because if these are not felony cases and are handled as misdemeanors in the city attorney's office, we want the same recognition by the city attorney. So I'll get in touch with Brigham Smith tomorrow to make sure that those things are moving forward. I know, Teresa, that was done in other neighborhoods what we call zero tolerance. I would recommend from this point forward that any crimes, whether it's dropping a piece of gum on the pavement to whatever it is, that we're zero tolerance. We're not going to reduce crimes and plead them down, that we're going to ask that we move through the whole process for whatever they are. And again, if I know it's called piled-on charges, but again, if they are out there with a gun and the bullet falls on the ground, I want them charged with that. I want every single thing we can possibly charge that person with that happens in the neighborhood right now, to show the strength of the neighborhood. And again, when we call you, then you're going to need to sit with us. You're going to need to sit with us in court and back the officers, back the city attorney, and back the prosecutor. So those are things that we can do immediately, and those are things that are proactive that will make a difference. Because how many remember and have driven on a place where there's been radar, and you've heard of one person that's gotten a ticket? You automatically slow down because the sign is up. As soon as we start this, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a press release. And guess what? We've got the queen of press releases with the Jackson.
That's how we met, wasn't it?
And we're going to get that press release out there. This neighborhood is not tolerating this. And by that, we have watched through the process and made sure that people that come into our neighborhood, whether they live in our neighborhood or not, we're going to handle it. We're going to make sure that it goes through the system, and if you commit a crime here, we're going to follow up on it.
Can I
press release.